Hello, beautiful Virgos, and welcome to your reading. Today is January 9th, 2022, but this is a timeless reading, so trust that when this reading finds you, it was the right time to find you. It is also a general reading, so keep that in mind. Not everything is going to fit, so take what fits and leave the rest. All right, Virgo, let's get into this. So we're going to be looking at the recent past energy, the current energy, and the near future energy. And within those energies, we're going to be looking at the challenging energy, emotional energy, physical energy, and the energy of the blessing that was surrounding you at the time. Whether or not you can see that blessing, I mean, it's all in the eye of the beholder. But yeah, that's just what we are going to be looking at. So we're going to start with the good tarot, and then we will clarify as we go. Okay, so Spirit, this is for Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Cross Watchers are welcome. Let us deliver the message of highest love and healing to Virgos today, Spirit. Right. Thank you, Spirit. We have the Tower. Okay, Tower for the challenge in the recent past. We have the Hierophant and the emotional. Ace of Wands in the physical, and in the blessing energy we have Eight of Pentacles. Current energy here for Virgo. Current energy here for Virgo. We have the Five of Air in the challenge, Ten of Earth in the emotional, Four of Water in the physical, Five of Water in the blessing. Future energy here for Virgo. We have the Fool as the challenge energy, Transformation as the emotional, Queen of Fire as the physical, and Queen of Earth as the blessing. Overall energy of this reading, Page of Fire. Virgo, you are going forward here and you're being asked to really look at things from maybe a different perspective than you have in the past. I feel like there's probably something that you've been stuck holding on to, whether that is certain aspects or ways you go about life. It can certainly, for some of you, be different substances, but not even just substances. Keep in mind, energy, people can sometimes be, you know, those things in which we hold on to too. I do feel though that there is really a need here. There's been a need in this overall energy for you to really evaluate maybe what you have been, maybe ways in the past, whether it's structures or beliefs that you have held to, that you're being asked to go forward and change. Okay, this Page of Wands is about opening yourself up to change that needs to happen. Okay, maybe going forward and breaking cycles or ways that you have gone about things in the past. This is about going forward and kind of, you know, taking this step in a different direction maybe than you have in the past. Now, I literally just knocked this deck and the Seven of Cups came out, so I just kind of wanted to point that there could be a lot of different options before you right now, and maybe different ways. Maybe there's a few different things here that you're having to reevaluate as far as life goes and which path you needed to take. Okay, so let's start here. So in the recent past energy, we have the Tower, the Hierophant, Ace of Air, and Eight of Fire. Sorry, I said Ace of Air, I meant Ace of Fire and Eight of Earth. Oh my goodness. I do feel in this recent past energy, something came up. Okay, that Tower in the challenging position. I mean, the Tower is something that needed to come down, some sort of disruption that happened in your life. Certainly the Tower is going to be different for a lot of you. But emotionally, you really had to kind of get real with where you stood with things. Okay, and that is on like more so than just like a very real kind of like, this is what I stand for emotionally, spiritually. This is the kind of human being that I am. I do feel like there was some sort of new beginning. Something happened, something that you were very passionate about for sure, but there was some sort of new beginning here that really was taking place and starting root here. We also have the Eight of Earth. I do feel like as this blessing energy, it was kind of like it's almost as though you have done an evaluation of maybe where you were at. And this is the energy of like feeling confident with where you've been and what you've come through, and acknowledging where you still need to put work in. It's being diligent, you know, still kind of showing up for the work that needs to be done. Okay, still showing up, and certainly it could be even showing up. I feel for yourself right now, Virgo. I do feel like there was whatever the case may be, as far as this Ace of Fire and this Hierophant energy, I feel like you were showing up to the work that needed to be done, okay? Within self, because that Eight of Pentacles is definitely an energy within self. It could be a work-related thing. It could be, you know, a personal growth kind of thing, a whole lot of different things. But I feel like you were showing up to the work that needed to be done. In the current energy, we have the Challenge. We have the Five of Swords. Maybe there's some tension going on right now. Maybe something, whatever this Tower was, I don't know. But maybe there's still some tense air around that disruption. I see that emotionally you are thinking of, you know, of your happy family, of the abundance, of the good, of just the fortune of your life, I think. And within the physical energy, we have the Four of Cups here. You know, I feel like maybe some things haven't worked out. Whatever that Tower moment was, I do feel like you're doing a little bit of self-reflection, and maybe a little bit of the pity me party too. You know, I just feel like maybe things didn't necessarily work out the way you were hoping them to, but that doesn't mean that it ruined it, okay? Because nothing can be taken from you that was meant from you. Keep that in mind, okay? So that Four of Cups energy is where you're kind of stuck, maybe looking at the things that didn't necessarily work out, and maybe not necessarily paying attention to what the universe has gifted you through this, okay? So yeah, okay, we're going to clarify everything. But and then in the blessing energy here, we have the Five of Cups, which, interesting enough, that doesn't really look like much of a blessing energy, because the Five of Cups is about emotional healing, but it's about being real with the emotional healing that needs to happen, okay? It's about acknowledging that you're not blanketing over certain emotions here, that you're going to be real with self. You're going to dig up those pains, and you're going to look at them, and you're going to deal with them the way that they properly need to be dealt with, not just buried and put under a rug, but actual real healing here. And that's a blessing. And I mean, as much as that's kind of like it's a big energy to go through as far as a blessing, it is a blessing to be able to actually acknowledge the pain and hurt that you're going through and work yourself through it. Okay, work yourself through the healing that needs to happen, because after that, I mean, certainly it's like ripping off that band-aid, right? Especially if you've left it on there for a long time, the wound underneath is going to be really nasty and really gross, okay? But you got to rip that band-aid off so that you can clean that wound, right? So that you can actually put in the work that needs to happen to remove the infection that unhealed wound is causing. Okay. All right. So in the near future, we move into the challenge here as being the Fool energy, taking the leap of faith. And I do see that there, you know, when we do self-reflection and there's that room for really big uncomfortable growth, I mean, oftentimes with that comes us needing to step into a new beginning, which, isn't it so interesting that you have the Fool energy here and the transformation energy right after that? Here's the new beginning and here's death. Transformation. I love transformation in this deck because I don't know if you can see, but there's actually like this little girl's holding a phoenix rising from her hand. And I love the energy of that phoenix. I really do. And I understand that this challenging energy is having the faith to take that leap of faith forward. Emotionally here, you're being asked to do the transformation. And the death is a big transformation. That's not just a little transformation. That's acknowledging that the way you've been going before isn't going to serve you. Okay, the death is putting a lot of things to an end, to allow the new cycles to begin. We have the Queen of Fire in the physical. I feel like you are very much intuitively stepping into what it is that your authenticity is leading you to. And then you have the Queen of Pentacles here, Queen of Earth. Okay, it's a blessing. Here's your grounded energy, your nurturing energy, your connection here. And I love how it's both queens here, because I do feel like this is very much connecting you to that divine feminine power within inside of self, which again, that goes so much further than just gender, right? Like divine, we are all made up of divine feminine and divine masculine energy. And this is very much, you know, stepping into that intuitive understanding and that knowledge and that connection to the divine feminine being that you are. Let's start clarifying, Virgo. So, Page of Fire. Let's clarify this Page of Fire here for Virgo. The overall energy here is the Page of Fire. Why? Why, Virgo? Why? Page of Fire here. We have the Son of Cups. the Sun, the Seven of Swords, and the Lovers. Wow. Okay, for some of you there is, for some of you this can definitely be talking about love, especially because you have the Knight of Cups and the Lovers all in this. But I do feel like this overall energy, this Page of Fire, here we were talking about starting new cycles, being open to new opportunities, right? New passions, new cycles of passion. We do see the Son of Cups here with the Sun after it. The Knight of Cups here with the Sun. To me, this is ultimate happiness and fulfillment coming in your way. And whatever the Son of Cups is, maybe you are going forward to offer yourself and your happiness, you know. Maybe you've done some serious work on self here, Virgo, you know, and you are feeling wholesome within yourself and you're ready to go and share that. I do feel like this is something, I mean, the universe is definitely gifting you some sort of ultimate happiness here. We do see this Seven of Swords, and I feel like there might be this fear of illusions. Okay, because the Seven of Swords can sometimes be talking about the illusions that we do not see. And then we have the Lovers after that. For some of you, it could certainly, let's clarify this Seven of Swords real quick. What is this Seven of Swords, Spirit? Look at that. The illusions here. The Seven of Swords was clarified by the Eight of Swords and the Tower. I feel like this illusion here, especially in between all of this happiness, because it's like the universe is, you know, the Son of Cups and then this Sun. Like, to me, this is like the universe is sending in complete happiness, but you're almost afraid that it's an illusion. And for some of you, it definitely could be some sort of love, for sure. Especially with the Lovers there. But I feel when the Eight of Swords comes out with this, clarifying this is like almost you being like, the illusion here is like, oh, only bad things ever happen to me, right? Only bad things ever come in my way. I kind of feel like that could be the illusion here. And if that's the mentality and that's, you know, and that's what you've been holding on to as your truth here, Virgo, that is a definite big structure that needs to change here. Let's clarify this Tower and the challenge. Clarify this Tower for us. We have the Queen of Pentacles, the Empress, and the Daughter of Swords. Okay. I feel like, especially in this challenging position, again, here's another page. Virgo, you are being asked right now to really evaluate the way that you are going forward, because new cycles are beginning here. And you can see that, especially within this near future energy, when you're asked, when the Fool and the Transformation are right here, like, you can see that. But even in the recent past energy, I feel like growth has been knocking at your door. And this Tower was almost that shakeup. Like, growth was like banging down your door. Like, it wasn't about to wait anymore. Change was needed here. And again, especially with this Queen of Pentacles and this Empress energy, here again is feminine, divine feminine energy. And I feel like your gut was probably screaming at you. I feel like your gut was probably the one knocking at your door. And that could have been why there was some imbalance here. Because I feel like some of that imbalance was within yourself, because maybe for some of you, you were trying to ignore what your gut was telling you. And it was like, nah, 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 right? Nay, nay. Nope, shit needs to be shooken up here, kid, because this isn't going to work going forward. We're going to have to make some changes here. Why is this Hierophant in the emotions? Can you clarify this Hierophant? Well, look at that. Daughter of Cups, Ten of Swords, and Two of Pentacles. Yeah. You know, this Hierophant energy, again, is about going forward and really, like, evaluating the structures and where you stood, you know, spiritually, emotionally, like, who you stood for as a spiritual being, okay? As a soul divine being, what that actually meant and looked like to you, and what that connection to the universe or to the divine or whatever the case may be beyond you looked like, okay? Here we have the Page of Cups followed by the Ten of Swords. Like, again, emotionally, there was new beginning and new opportunity with this Page of Cups, because this is about new opportunity and new love and new cycles kind of coming into play. But the Ten of Swords is that things needed to be cut loose. In order to open up, in order for you to go forward here, there was things that you had to acknowledge and you needed to cut loose to go forward here, Virgo. Okay, and balance was needed here. And the Two of Pentacles, I mean, that's a very earthy kind of energy, and you being an earth sign, I do feel like this is the balance between your spirituality and kind of like the practicality, reality of life, right? Because there has to be that. And I understand that that's probably, especially within this emotional, like it was like as much as you were figuring out who you were, maybe on a spiritual, connected kind of just divine being level. And that doesn't even need to sound like, that doesn't even need to be like this big, huge, spiritual aha moment. I think it's even just that underlying where you were like, wait a minute, like I stand for this and this, and this part of me stands for this, and you know, and I hold this belief and this belief. And I feel like you were kind of almost like piecing it together. But within that piecing it together and building something new, there was old parts of you I really feel that you needed to let go. Right? The Two of Pentacles is also very much about the ebb and flow of life, right? And we have to be able to go with the flow of life. That's a very important aspect within this. And faith allows us to be able to go with the ebb and flow, right? Faith allows us to be able to like, and sometimes that faith is hard to keep because it's like, well, you know, I had the faith and why can't it go this way? And I don't really have the answer for that by any means, but I do feel that emotionally here, this was just kind of like that, the energy of you having to restructure things here, but also within that restructuring, having to let things go, right? There was like growth that needed to be happening. It was brought to your attention. And it was like, okay, well, here we go. Ace of Fire. Let's clarify this Ace of Fire. Yeah, Six of Wands. Wow, Six of Wands, King of Wands, and the Fool. Here was this new beginning, and in order for you to really step in and make something of this new beginning, you really had to liberate self, because that is what this Six of Wands is. This is about coming from the darkness, okay? It's the universe kind of shining a little bit of extra light on you, you know, showing you kind of the way. It can be, you know, others around you being like, hey, you've done some growth and I really see it, you know, and whatever the case may be. But it's very much about that liberation of self and you feeling that kind of the release, right? From whatever was holding you back before, you feeling that healing, you feeling, and really stepping in, especially when the King of Wands is with it, really stepping into your authenticity. I really feel like there was this claim to power here, especially with the Fool behind it, you know, taking the leap of faith here. And whether that was you starting some sort of new passion project, job, relationship, whatever the case may be, I feel like as you embrace this, as you physically embraced whatever this new opportunity and new beginning was in your life, you really had to step into your authenticity to do so. You had to take that leap of faith. You had to see yourself as, you couldn't see yourself in a lesser form, right? In order to step into this, you couldn't see yourself in a lesser form, which is probably why this Hierophant and this Tower, they were also within there, right? Because that Tower was to shake the shit up so that you couldn't go forward, you know, not believing or not seeing or thinking that things, you know, had to stay the same. Eight of Pentacles. How is this Eight of Pentacles the blessings energy? How is this Eight of Pentacles the blessing? Wow, Two of Swords, Justice, and Ace of Pentacles. This Eight of Earth, you know, that's the energy of putting the work in to continue, like acknowledging that you've done a good job, that you've put in a lot of work. But look at this, we have the Two of Swords and the Justice here. Okay, so the Two of Swords is about stalemate energy, kind of blocking in this. You know, and the blessing here was probably this self-evaluation that needed to happen. Okay, whether you set out to do the self-evaluation or the universe just kind of brought it up in front of your face and was like, hey, look, here's some pieces that still need to be mended and still need to be worked on. Okay, it was, the attention was brought to the stalemate. Okay, the attention was brought to this fork in the road that you needed to address. And the Justice is about liberation. It's about balance coming to the situation, absolutely. But in order to bring balance to the situation, this is where you need to step in to create the balance, right? Because in order to create the balance, you need to liberate the imbalance within the situation. You know, there's new opportunities and new beginnings starting within this. Okay, and I feel like it's because those new opportunities and those new beginnings, that's still where the growth is needed, right? And I mean, we go through so much growth, Virgo, again and again and again. Like that's, we are here in this life as beings of growth. That's what we do, right? We come, we experience life, and our souls grow and grow and grow. Okay, so this 5 of air in the current. How is this 5 of air in the current energy challenging the Virgo at this time? Oh, guys, we got the 10 of Wands and the Tower again. Holy smokes. You're holding on to something here, Virgo. Okay, there's burdens here that need to be let go, and because they haven't been let go, look at that, 5 of Swords and the Son of Pentacles. Because they haven't been let go, and there hasn't been steps forward to heal what needs to be healed, well, that would be why this tension and this communication error is still here, which, interesting enough, look at there's a 5 of Swords, clarifying the 5 of Swords. Something has to be let go. Okay, when the 10 of Wands comes out with the Tower here, it's because these burdens need to be dropped. These are things that you're still carrying, okay? Whether it's lessons or it's challenging situations that you need to see finished out and moved on from, okay, but they're burdens that you are carrying. And see this Tower, it's shaking the shit up because the burdens have to go. And I imagine that the burdens were something that you were probably just going to silently carry unless the universe shook it up for you. Because we have the Tower as the challenge here, and the Tower came out and the challenge is the current. Okay? So I imagine that past Tower was something that had to come, it had to come up because you had to deal with whatever the hell you were carrying. Okay? And there's been some tension here. Okay, there's definitely been some tension in communication, whatever that may be, and slow forward movement. Okay, almost like you were like dragging your feet as far as making steps to go forward. And I'm not saying that you're not making the steps, I'm just saying that maybe it's been like making steps in mud and your feet have been dragging. Okay, and I can see why that's been challenging you, because, you know, that energy of discombobulated communication. I don't know why discombobulated is the word that wanted to come out there, but it is. I feel like there's just been a lot of burdens around some sort of communication here that needed to happen. And for some of you, it could be communication to yourself. I feel like there's maybe for some of you, you've been preaching some bullshit to yourself. Okay, and this might be the shakeup at where it's like, get real with yourself here. Okay, reality check, like check your facts, fact check. Some of this is going to be fake news, right? Some of those burdens that you're carrying, thinking I need to carry these because these are my crosses to bear, like the universe is like, fake news. That's why the Tower's here, because you can't carry that shit forward. Okay, get real here, get real with this. Okay, what lies are you telling yourself? You know, because they can be things that society and people and family have put in place for years and years and years, and you've taken it as God's gospel, and now it's something that you believe. And oftentimes, like, one of the worst ones that I hate is where, like, people tell us things about ourselves. Like, I used to be told for forever, like, I was just too much, right? Like, I was just too much of a girl to handle. I was too high-pitched. I was too excited. I was too this. I was too that, right? And that was preached to me for years and years and years. Like, it was disgusting how long that I heard that. And from so many different people, right? Until I believe that to be actually a fact, right? Until actually in the core of who I was, I believe that I was too much for people, right? And we look like one of the things that and I don't know why this has come to my mind, but look at, you know, when I was a child, like ADHD was like, well, you didn't really want to say that, you know, my parents definitely weren't about to be like, well, yeah, our child has ADHD by any case, because medicating me wasn't something that they wanted to do. But now as an adult, you know, I still carry some of that forward with me, right? I still carry that, you know, well, that was my personality and that was too much for me. And I don't know why that just came to mind again, but, you know, that could certainly be something for some of you. Maybe for some of you, ADHD was something that you heard your entire life. And because of that, you know, they needed to do this to you, or you were too much for this, or you were too much for that. And now as an adult, you're like, oh my gosh, well, I probably am still too much for everything. Well, that's not the freaking case, because you wouldn't be that way if you weren't divinely meant to be that way. Okay? And see, and I see that this is a truth here, maybe that, and it's certainly not the ADHD thing, but I do feel like there's a certain amount of truth here that is coming forward, because that the truth is that what you believe is potentially a lie. And this is the self check-in. Okay, this is the being real. Let's see this 10 of Pentacles here. 10 of Pentacles. 10 of Pentacles and the emotions. And this, oh my. We got the Queen of Wands, we have the Two of Cups, and we have the Temperance energy. Okay, so I do feel like within this 10 of Earth, I feel like you're in a really good spot. For some of you, it could definitely be, again, some sort of relationship that I feel that you're in that's a good spot, but I do feel like you're learning this balance. And I feel maybe even as much as this balance within relationships, where you end and where others begin. And this balance of like, okay, I'm almost hearing, like the codependency within relationships, and maybe I feel like you are being very accountable for your energy and what you need and what you're giving, and not because you don't have enough to give to somebody who needs it. That's not the case. You have plenty, but that you're in the position to know that, oh, well, there's no point in me giving extra to this if that person isn't going to help. Like, certainly relationships aren't always 50-50. They're again, that ebb and flow of life, but this is being real about where that's not actually going to take place. Right? This is being real with yourself about, okay, well, I can put my energy into this, or I can put my energy into this, because it's being reciprocated on a healthy level, right? There's power within that, okay? Again, there's power within that acknowledgement of balance in these situations. Balance is key, okay? Balance is key. Let's see this 4 of water. Let's see this 4 of water. Can you clarify this 4 of water and the current energy here for us? King of Cups with the Emperor and the 5 of Pentacles. Interesting enough, again, I love this. The King of Cups to me it's coming out here with this Emperor, because I feel like, Virgo, you're being asked again to do, this is about big reflections, okay? Because that 4 of Cups energy is like, okay, where are you looking at cups that got spilt and not acknowledging the blessing that's before you, okay? And I see you feeling, especially with this 5 of Pentacles energy, I can see you feeling maybe slightly physically put off, okay? Whether that is your feelings have been hurt, finances haven't been, I mean, and we're just, especially if you watch this around, I mean, this reading comes out shortly after the holiday season. So I do understand that finances can be slightly tight, right? And sometimes that can be making us feel very desperate and very much on the lonesome and very much down on our luck. But see here, this King of Cups followed by the Emperor, you're getting real with, again, those emotions of self. And they go so much further than just like the emotional check-in. It's like where you can hold your, like where you hold those emotions accountable for the direction and the vibration that you are moving in life, right? Because this is about the acknowledgement and the understanding and again, the power you have over your life and your forward movement. Okay, especially in this physical energy here. It's not that you're not going through the hard times. It's not that you're not maybe, you know, seeing some things as a challenge right now, but that you're choosing to, for one, heal. Heal is a big one, especially because the blessing is this 5 of Cups. So I do feel that healing whatever emotionally is blocking you here, that is actually a very big piece of this. Okay? Because that Father of Cups is somebody, like that's somebody who acknowledges that the power is in the healing. The power isn't blanking it over. The power is in the healing. The power is in the emotional, control of it. Because emotionally he could feel defeated, right? This King of Cups with that 5 of Pentacles, he could feel defeated, but he chooses not to. That King of Cups is stepping to acknowledge that, okay, cups have been spilt, but he is in the powerhouse, in the power seat to acknowledge if those cups spilt, it's because what was for me wasn't in those cups. Because what is for me will always be for me. People, you know, nothing can take away what is for you. That's just the baseline of that. Let's see why this 5 of Cups is the blessing energy here for this current situation. Why is this 5 of Cups? Wow. We got the Page of Cups here. I know it's flipped over here. Page of Cups, 5 of Cups, and the Moon. Holy smokes. Because this 5 of Cups is asking you to do the healing. There is new beginnings here. Okay, and as much as at first it might look like a very painful thing to go through to do the healing, I promise you there is new beginning here. Okay, new opportunities, new light. And this pain, this energy that you think that it's only ever going to be depressing and it's only ever going to be heartbreak, that's an illusion. Because we have the Five of Cups here again, clarifying this Five of Cups. So I'm not overlooking the fact that whatever needs to be healed isn't going to be tough. Okay, that this looks like a tough energy. Something looks like it's going to be emotionally a challenge. But I feel like it's, you know, it's like one of those things where it's like, interesting enough, I heard it in a video yesterday that, and it was discussing self-sabotage actually, and how, you know, sometimes people can be inflicting more pain upon themselves because the idea of the healing, like the idea that it hurts them more than, like they think, okay, well that pain must be worse than what I'm already feeling, right? And I can feel that, see, that's what this illusion is to me. Right? That it's some sort of horrible pain that you're not going to be able to push past. But I'm telling you, there's an option here for new beginnings. That's the blessing in this, is the healing. The blessing is the need that you're going to have to heal what emotionally is holding you back here. Okay, and this is about having faith, because the moon, as much as it's about illusions, it's about the illusion of that faith isn't going to protect you from, I mean, it certainly doesn't protect us from painful situations that we go through, but it aligns us to the healing to be able to make it through those painful situations that we go through, right? Life isn't meant to be just something that is pain-free, guys. There's no way around that. And I don't know if I've already said that in this reading or not, but I'm a Libra, I'm a Queen of Swords, so sometimes my delivery is very, very harsh. And that's one of the things that, unfortunately, I'm not always the most gentle in delivering that blow, because the reality of life is that we go through, as human beings, this world is a treacherous place some days for our souls to have to go through. But as divine beings, as soul beings, that growth and the healing, the ability to move through those phases of life, that is something that we are all given. Okay, we are all, as humans, we are to be here for each other, to align to that kind of healing, but we have to be committed to that kind of healing. Okay, and to think that life isn't going to throw you curveballs or pain, that's very naive of you to think. Okay, all right, so this Fool energy as a challenge in the near future. Let us see what that is discussing. Well, certainly we have the Three of Swords, we have the Hermit, and we have the Death card. Okay, so here, this new beginning, this taking the leap of faith, again, look at what it's asking you to do, heal. Okay, the Three of Swords is talking about rejection. It's talking about pains. Like, look at those swords wrapped around those heartstrings, right? Whatever the case may be here, there is some need for self-reflection, because the Hermit here is your own individual energy. This is the energy of a Virgo. Okay, the Hermit energy here, Virgo, this is asking you to really do that evaluation of self. The Death is behind that card. And this isn't talking about death, but this is talking about the death of the way that you have been going at things. Okay, this is asking you and explaining to you that there needs to be a rebirth within inside of self. Okay, you need to take this leap of faith, and I'm not here to tell anybody what they're supposed to do, Virgo, but I'm telling you, you should probably take the leap of faith here, because the healing is where this is at. Okay, I understand this is going to take some self-reflection, Virgo, but don't go and just hide yourself from the world. That's not healing, right? I feel like that's a big part of this. I feel like for some of you, you know, you're like, well, I'll just shut out things. Okay, well, that's not healing a damn thing, Virgo. Okay, that's not what we're discussing here. Here, Spirit's like, no, Virgo, no. I understand that there's pain. Yep, I get that. Okay, but the healing comes from the transformation of self here. Okay, the healing comes from being brave enough to take the leap of faith and continue on. Okay, to start the new venture here. Okay, I understand, painful. I get it, my love, painful. Emotionally, there's that Death card. Transformation, the phoenix rising from the ashes, baby. I get it. That's a challenging place to be, Virgo. And this healing, it might look like a daunting, I don't know, forest to have to cross. Let's clarify this transformation. Look at that. 9 of Pentacles, 4 of Pentacles, 10 of Pentacles. Gosh, but this transformation is so worth it for you. So worth it. Okay, so this 9 of Pentacles energy, this is about self-reflection. Okay, and this is about self-fulfillment. Acknowledging that what surrounds you, you know, this is about being real with what surrounds you, the energies that surround you, where you put yourself. Okay, because as much as self-fulfillment is beautiful and blissful, and it comes, self-fulfillment comes with self-accountability. Okay, because you can only be fulfilled within yourself if you are accountable for what you allow to be within your space, what you allow to be your mindset, what you allow to be the way you go and approach the day or other people, right? That's a choice that you make. And that's this Nine of Pentacles energy. And I love that the Four of Pentacles comes after it, because for some of you, self-worth is going to be a bit of an issue. Okay, seeing yourself worthy of being of happiness, because we have the Ten of Pentacles after that, and that Ten of Pentacles is this ultimate happy kind of, see, I feel for some of you there's like a really good thing here, and it's almost as though you were second guessing, well, can I be my authentic self? Can I stand up for what I need and what I believe in and still have this good thing in the end? Okay, for some of you, it could have been a relationship, right? And it was almost like, okay, well, these are the things I need, and these are, and maybe you haven't been standing into that because you've been allowing that other person to kind of dictate, you know, how it's going to go, because you didn't really want to rock the boat here. Okay, well, that can't happen, right? Because if you're not standing into your authenticity, that shakes up, even if you're both good people, if you're not standing into your authenticity and you're not standing for your light and you're not standing for yourself, that's not a selfish thing. Okay, that's not a selfish thing at all. That's just you standing as your divine being. Okay, and if you cannot stand like that, those relationships and those, and again, that's not just talking about romantic relationships, but those connections, okay, they will become toxic to a certain extent. Because what you're coming in with is some sort of fake energy here, and that's not who you are. Okay, this is about being accountable for exactly the energy that you are, good and bad, but for the energy that you are and for what you are allowing to be within your energy field here, Virgo. Okay, transformation is needed for sure, and I just see it as like, it's almost like, I feel for some of you that there's been this fear of rocking the boat, and maybe for some of you there was healing that needed to happen, and you know, maybe you're in a new partnership and you're not wanting to explain, like, hey, look, like, this is still a part of me that I haven't healed from, and I'm hoping that we can, and you know, and you don't want to rock the boat because you don't want them to think that, oh shit, this is going to be too much, or whatever the case may be. But that's again some of this Five of Swords stuff, because that may be a lie that you were telling yourself, maybe, you know. And if the person on the other end of it, my love, isn't prepared to help you do the healing and the growth that needs to happen, well, I hate to tell you, but I think you already know the answer to that, right? Okay, let's see this Queen of Fire. This Queen of Fire. Physical. So many. All right. Six of Pentacles, Ten of Cups, Five of Wands, Ace of Swords, Daughter of Wands. Again, this is about, so this energy here standing in this is about standing up for your authenticity. Okay, that Queen of Fire, she's connected to her intuition, absolutely, but she's connected to the things that are bringing her passion, and she's speaking her truth. Okay, she's not coming forward to just be egotistical or arrogant or anything. She comes forward because she comes forward from a place of soul purpose, divine being, connection from spirit here. And see, and this is the acknowledgement that happiness is hers. She knows that there has to be a change. That's why this Five of Wands is here. There has to be a change. And I do feel like there's some truth and some clarity, kind of like that aha moment that comes in from spirit here. And again, that Page of Wands. Here's that Page of Fire. It's that overall energy, right? This is the cycles. This is the change that needs to actually be implemented and put in place here. Again, there is happiness and really good stuff surrounding you, Virgo, but there has to be some sort of leveling up here that happens. And I feel like that leveling up, again, is that just this truth to self, okay? And what that self stands for, what that self is allowing within there. Look at that, coughing, choking. You're not speaking about it, okay, Virgo? You're holding something back here. Some sort of truth you're holding back. And I feel like physically that's just going to get harder and harder for you to do, okay? Because what needs to be spoken, that's inside your soul, and it's coming out one way or another, okay? That's why you have this feeling of discontent within yourself, Virgo. I feel like that's probably why these battles are happening within inside you, because part of you knows we are onto a really good thing. We are knocking at the gates of exactly what we've been looking for. And a part of you is like, yeah, but what about all this shit? Like, we can't take it, but we can't leave it because we haven't dealt with it, right? All right, let's see what this Queen of Curse, the Queen of Earth is what I was saying. As this blessing energy here. How is this Queen of Earth a blessing energy for Virgo in the near future? Look at that, Ace of Wands. Yep, new beginning, new opportunity. There's a lot of repeat cards here today with the Mother of Swords and the Father of Pentacles. Well, your Divine Feminine and Divine Masculine energy both came out here. I feel like this is a balance of self. I do feel here that this blessing there is a new beginning for you, Virgo. There is some sort of spark that's coming in. Again, this is very much some sort of, it's a passion, and it's a passion, and it's stirred inside of you because it needs to be spoken. This is about something that you need to be very truthful about. Okay, Queen of Swords here. This just be true and honest about it. You know, the Queen of Swords, she can guide her way through conversations with people and speak her truth. I mean, she certainly can sometimes, she has to watch that she doesn't sound overly harsh by any means, but it's like this truth needs to be spoken, and it's amazing that it's coming from the Queen of Swords, because the Father of Pentacles energy is here, like, to say, you know, this is where we want to end up. Okay, this ultimate happiness, this is where we want to end up. This is the fortune, this is the fulfillment, this is my end game. And in order to get there, I have to go this way. I have to take this road, this path. And this Queen of Swords, she's just going to say what that is. Okay, because here's that new beginning, and she's just going to be really freaking clear about the path that has to be taken here. And this King of Pentacles energy, this is that energy stepping into, okay, well then, let's do it, right? Let's take the step. Wow. Wow, Virgo, wow. There's this movement within your space, okay? There is this movement within inside of self, and it's aligning you to a higher version of self than what you've seen before. And see, the thing is, Virgo, once you know, you know. Right? Like, once you know, and that goes for growth. Like, once you know certain aspects of yourself, or once you have gained like that knowledge within inside of self, whatever that may be, that truth, that clarity, that aha, you can't go back. Like, you can't unsee the knowledge that you've learned, and you can't pretend that you don't know it, because then that whole system of self going to be really off. Okay, you'll feel completely off. Won't be fun. All right, so this is a message of encouragement, Virgo, for you going forward. Spirit, what is the message of encouragement you have for Virgo going forward? What message of encouragement do you have for the Virgos? Message of encouragement for the Virgos. Thank you. Okay, we have the Electric Eel, and it came out in the reverse, which is actually the protection message. So I am going to read it for you. Now this says, bring your ideas to life. So let's see what the protection message of that is. And that is number 24. Ideas need to prelocate, as they rarely download in detailed form. Have you too quickly dismissed an epiphany because you couldn't see where it might lead you? Have you rushed to follow the muse without taking time to contemplate the meaning of your aha moment? Perhaps your dream will take a different form than you first imagined, morphing into something else that is even better. Spirit's plans are often hard to discern, but so much more satisfying once they have taken over from your own predetermination. Maybe your big idea is taking more time to shape than you expect. Have you considered that you are meant to learn something in the process of bringing it into being? Commit to transformation and to learning any lessons this new venture will bring. And soon you will see that your aha was even more valuable than you realized when you first felt this electrify within you. Well, Virgo, that was a very wonderful reading. Thank you so much for joining me. Take great care of your soul. Bye now.